We should do that. We should release a press.
What's the world's population again?
6 billion.
Okay, so divide 20,000 into that. Yeah, it's a whopping percentage there.
We're not doing the show for people like in India, man. I don't have any money.
We need to start marketing in random small countries. It could blow up there.
But the problem with foreigners is they don't have social security numbers. So, what's the point of having?
I mean, we can market it. We could market in Sri Lanka. We can market in Egypt.
United Arab Emirates, and cool, really into the show. See big holes in the desert, cruising around in Land Cruisers and getting lost in the desert and running over stuff and bug zappers. Man, they don't have bug zappers over there in the United Arab Emirates. Their oil money can give them anything except for
No, they just have a shape-shifting reptile humanoid that just sticks its tongue out and eats the insects from them.
Which they built, man. When you've got that oil money, oil runs the world. So yeah, I'm moving to the United Arab Emirates, and we're going to be doing this show in front of a live studio audience over there. That's what I'm talking about.
Only thing I want is in my contract is a pair of curly fry boots.
Curly fry boots are an offense to Allah, so no potential, no Henry Weinhardt's wine coolers, no Mike's Hard Lemonade. They don't have any of that, man, but they'll pay you a bunch of money to go over there and work. I figured I could go over there, we could do the radio show in front of a live studio audience. In a tent in the old market. Are you my therapist?
We'll be doing the show on a fucking payphone in the middle of a battle area.
Yeah, and American
there's a suicide bomber running around.
And people keep trying to kidnap me because I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed American. And we'll have you on Skype, and maybe we'll turn it into a video show by that point. We'll cross over into a different medium. You'll see me getting kidnapped by Arabs.
2048 podcast. We'll be doing it live via holograph imaging.
I'll be in a wheelchair. I'll be the crazy old man.
He'll be playing the Bret Hart gimmick.
Yeah, I'll be hobbling.
So if you were the booker of Raw, how would you write the Vince McMahon Bret Hart final send off? I guess it is at WrestleMania.
Well, I saw in person with my own two eyes WrestleMania 19. And I'll tell you, in the live crowd, what tore down the house was the crippled old man, Hulk Hogan, versus the 60-year-old dude who still can go, even though he has, artificial knees, Vince McMahon. And after that match, they all, the audience all left, because that was the main event, to the people. Afterwards, The Rock, Steve Austin had Steve Austin's last match ever. People didn't care about that, man. They cared about Vince versus Hulk. So it'll be the same thing. They should have a headline the show. And dude, Vince McMahon can do no wrong, man. Just let him do what he wants. People will watch. They'll keep buying the shirts. As long as you got Rey Mysterio staying somewhat clean and able to pass a drug test, or get one of his kids to pee into a cup and pass a drug test for him. You think Rey Mysterio uses a Liznator, man, so he can take steroids? HGH.
His kids pissing for other people on the luchador independent scene in California.
Yeah, he shouldn't have his dad. Or he shouldn't have Chava's dad. Never have Chava's dad pee for you, man.
You have Psychosis' dad pee for him.
Yeah, never have Psychosis. Never ask Super Crazy to pee for you, man.
Or La Parka.
You know, who do you think's going to drop next? I think Hurricane. Hurricane's going to drop. So if I was booking Raw, man, I don't know.
I think Mr. Anderson's the next one to go.
Yeah, he's low level enough to just be able to die. Corporal Kirshner.
I can see TNA dropping the mic on him.
Corporal Kirshner did a Jesus, man. He, rose from the dead. Remember, everyone was sad about him dying? He's like, hey, if memories are all I sing, I'd rather drive a truck. He, drives a truck, man, Corporal Kirshner. Remember, he was, dead on the internet for a couple days. It was all, official and everything. Even guys like Dave Meltzer, started doing obituaries for him. Oh dear Lord!
What about when Paul White fell off the building on Halloween Havoc '95? And then somehow, miraculously, 5 minutes later, he walked to the ring to fight Hogan.
95, man.
The Dungeon of Doom and the Yeti caught him. they had the tarp up. He was making some man. He's like, I don't want to go ahead with this pay-per-view. I'm going to jump.
I'm going to jump.
I know you remember the Dungeon of Doom. Playing one of the worst stables in the history of pro wrestling. The Zodiac Man and all that shit.
You mean worse than the lineup of, me and Killamo?
What's the worst lineup? The Dungeon of Doom '95 or the Planet Podcast radio show lineup?
Planet Podcast minus Julio Scissors and all the other popular characters.
Well, Julio Scissors is he's main event. So
yeah, we have to
bring
him in. We can't get him in for a Halloween Havoc.
You know what, Terry? That's what you should do, man. You should book a Halloween show. 7 months from now, Halloween Havoc podcast pay-per-view, the return of Julio Scissors.
I don't think he'll show up, man. I think he died.
7 months? 7 months of work? I know in 7 months you can go and find Julio and he'll be on a show.
I think he'll be healed up enough to work. I want to move him to the Northwest.
Matter of fact, if I put my nerdy powers to work, I guarantee you that in the next 2 or 3 weeks I can get Julio to come back on the show.
Can you arrange a sit-down?
There could be some heated contract talks, but
for 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we'll do a sit-down. Next week we'll do a filler show.
We should have the sit-down live on air.
Oh, of course.